Hey, what's going on YouTube? Joe here from MetaFish. Haven't done a video in a long time. It's June. I got a little bit of sun. Got out fishing for Memorial Day weekend. And yeah, I just want to do a quick fish room tour video. If anybody wants any of these fish, hit me up on Facebook would be easiest. Local pickup only currently, unless you want to. We got to put a lot of these fish online. Work's been a bear. Everybody's busy. We're super busy. It's no excuse, but you'll see how the fish room's doing. We pared down on a few species, so we'll get right into it. These are the, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to remember all the names or do a good job. I just got done eating, so I got a little bit of a throat allergy thing going on. But I figure why not? I'll stretch my throat, stretch my voice, and yeah, these are the blue Pinoy veils. They're in a 120 gallon tank here, and half of them are gold blues. Here, I'll show you over here. Maybe I can get a good video. They have blue in their fins. They're super cool. I don't know if you can see any of the blue, but in their top fins I'm starting to see a lot of blue. So these are the same fish, just one batch older. So I don't know what to call those fish. Leave a comment if you, I mean, there's so many different types of angelfish. These almost seem unique to me because they have that blue hint in the top of their fins, and they did come from veil-tail blue Pinoys. These guys are doing pretty good. These are kind of our mixed bag. These are blue Pinoys, not veil, and then just some random kinds of angelfish, a lot of marble and stuff like that. So 120, these are both 110s. And then we got rid of these guys down here, so I'm going to be putting some more cichlids down in this 75 gallon soon. It had a full clean, filter clean. It's ready for fish anytime, which is pretty rare. Pretty rare that I have a tank available. Blue dolphins are getting bigger, and they're 110 down here. So we have some really nice blue dolphin cichlids here. The swordtails, yellowtail swords, just keep breeding. So there's lots of juveniles there. They just got a water change, but I should get them to a bigger tank. These are some of our koi and gold angelfish from a different line with Geophagus steindachnerii. We emptied out one of the barrels, took it to an auction. Those were some Laguna cichlids, and there's other cichlids in there. These are some of the albino galaxy guppies. These are more albino galaxy guppy fry up here. We have quite a few tanks of them because they were super hard to breed at first for us. And these are albino galaxies. And these are albino galaxies. So you can see all the roots in here. I finally got all the spawning mops out of here. Did water changes on everybody. These are red volcano endlers. Not too many males in there right now. Mostly females. These are Struble endlers. They're the ones with the two black spots on their side. The males will have two dots running along the middle of their body. This right here is dwarf neon rainbowfish. They're super tiny. So they've already spawned off the mop. And I feed them vinegar eels, micro worms, and this powdered food right here. I just sprinkle a little bit on top. Golden pearls, 5 to 50 micron. And these guys are about probably 2 weeks old now. I don't know if you got to see any of them. Let's see. But yeah, I've mentioned it before. That's what makes rainbow fish so hard to raise, is getting them to the size where they can actually eat a baby brine shrimp. So here's some of our albino galaxy guppies also. And that's just an empty little jar right now with some Java moss in it. So I found the Java moss does just fine even if it doesn't have any bubbler. I mean, it makes sense. CO2, there'll be more in the water, and the bubbler won't be oxygenating the water by agitating the surface as much. So I think we got this room. Over here we have the Amica splendens. I don't know if they're going to come out, no real light. And snakeskin orchid endlers. So we haven't really lost the tank, had any issues since the last fish room tour. Look how big these guys have gotten. These are the blue acaras. It's actually a blue acara male with a electric blue acara female. So we'll see how they turn out. I'm about to move them to a 5-gallon tank, I think. So I do have a 5-gallon up here. I moved these red rainbow fish, you'll see in a second, to a 40-gallon tank. And what else do we have here? These guys are always hiding in the back. They only come out to eat. Those are French blue star endlers. Got a few endlers hiding in the back. They know it's not dinner time, so everybody's gonna be freaking out. Why is he here at noon? It's lunchtime. So muck guppies in those 2 tanks. These are wild caught platies. Need to try to breed them a little bit more. You can see the male up there with his starting to show a longer fin. Can definitely sex the males with the females now. I've had those for a long time. But I'm doing a few more cichlids now too. So down here, these are sunshine Benga peacocks. There's the lone male that we have left. We sold all the other males, and we sold a lot of the females too. But you can see some of them are holding eggs right now. And before I sold all the males, it's been such a good fish, a good line for me. Real high quality, bright red, blue face. That I got some of their babies here. So these are sunshine Bengas. These down here are sunshine Bengas. These right here are sunshine Bengas. I got quite a few. Oh no, these are red empress. No, those are sunshine Bengas too. And then these are red empress. So I don't want to go too fast, but you can already tell just as juveniles how different they look. This is a hap and this is a peacock. So these are really cool. They're finally producing a few fry for me. These are the swordtail guppies. They all have a little bit different coloration, but they all have that, the males all have that bottom sword. And there's a few fry in here. They seem to be a little bit rough on their fry. Now that I have this Java moss just doing really good, some of the fry are surviving in here, so I'm just using this as a secondary filter, kind of like a refugium. And then, yeah, behind the Acara here are more red empress growing up. So I got quite a few sunshine Bengas and red empress growing up right now. And yeah, they'll be fun to put into a bigger tank, grow them to some size, get them out to some people. Those are 2 of my favorite types of fish, super mild as far as cichlids go. These are black bar endlers. Did a big water change on this tank and they just, population exploded. I had it down to about, I don't know, maybe 40 fish. Now there's over 100 again. These are blue Philippine zebra angelfish. The adults are in another room. These ended up turning into mostly muck guppies. They were actually blue Moscows. And I think somebody got in here and kind of muddied up the line. So you can tell there's still some pure blue Moscows like this guy right up here. And they don't have very good light. There's a bunch of babies swimming around and stuff. Just like all my guppy tanks basically. These are the Atropinus Goodeids. These are the blacktail Goodeiid. They get bigger than this guy, and he's big. He's probably like 3 inches. So they've spawned in here. These are mutt guppy endler. So all my endlers that don't look exactly right end up in here. This guy's living out his life. He's a multicolored Victoriae. When we were bagging him, he bonked his head. He kind of did a nosedive, just like a diver diving into a pool, and hit his head on the bottom of the plastic container, and he hasn't been quite right since. I guess they have some sort of a swim bladder on the top of their head that regulates their buoyancy. So he does okay, and he comes out and eats, but he moves real slow. And if he gets startled, he starts doing circles, and I feel so bad for him. So my wife feels really bad for him. So he gets his own 10-gallon tank all to himself. And he's gonna, that's his retirement home. These are our original Red Empress that we bred with the 2 albinos, still doing real good. So those need a little bit bigger tank now. They're getting to be about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So these are 10-gallon tanks. Down here, there's a white lab, there's some blue dolphins, there's Pundamilla macrocephala from Lake Victoria. It's a 100-gallon tank, really poor lighting. And there's a little bit of algae on here. This light's too strong for this tank without any plants or anything. But the 2 Red Empress, they've both come into their own, and they're always fighting over the females. They're in here trying to breed every single day. And they're very successful too. There's a bunch of holding females right now, 4 or 5. Well, almost all of them. These are the only 3 holdouts who aren't holding right now. Oh, 4 holdouts. Everybody else has eggs right now. So pretty soon, tonight or tomorrow, I got a big project for work due tomorrow. So probably tomorrow after work. These are some blue neon rainbow fish, dwarf blue neons. So those will be going to another tank here soon. There's only 5 of them though, and they're growing like crazy in that breeder box. So. Oh yeah, these are sunshine bangas. Also, both these guys. So I have enough of those now. This is a Pundamilla macrocephala male. He's not super dark, but he'll get a lot blacker, especially if he's got females he's breeding. But he beat up his females, so I separated the female. This is one of the females. She's all plump and happy in her tank right now. But yeah, they're a little rough on their females. Got some yellowtail swords in there. They've already had babies in that breeder box. And these are yellowtail swords too. So they're in the 180 gallon. You can see they've dropped quite a few fry in the 180 gallon. Those are going to be fun to catch. I took all the babies from the Tropheus chipimbi and sold 10 of them, the 10 biggest ones that were in this tank. And then I took the smaller ones, excuse me, and I put them up here in breeder boxes. They're all going to scatter and hide. But those are chipimbis, and then I did the same thing to the Duboisi's down here. So these are the baby Duboisi's. I just gave them some microworms earlier, so I saved them from the parents' tank so that they wouldn't get eaten. I mean, some would survive, but some would get picked off. Up here, they're going to be hiding. But there's a few new plecos up here, and I got rid of the drawing a blank. It was just some female cichlids, and ended up coming home from the last swap with 2 green severums. They're still getting used to their tanks. There's one of the severums. You can see his head poking behind that rock there. And then there's a pleco right there as well. So yeah, he doesn't really want to be seen. These guys are starting to breed. They got a big water change. These are the yellow rainbowfish that have a really rare collection point. Not very many people in the US have them, but they're pretty big, and they were actually spawning in the mop this morning, so hopefully I'll get some to pass on. These are a new addition here. These are my turquoise rainbowfish. So hopefully I'll have turquoise rainbowfish to offer everybody. You know, I breed the millennium rainbows. Here's the millenniums. So I've already sold almost all my millenniums. These are the last ones. And I don't even really want to sell the tank. They're doing so good in here. So they're in here with, this is all homegrown Anubias and Java fern. I went through the plant containers, sorted through all those, and this was all extra plants that I didn't want to replant. So this all came to this tank, and now if somebody wants some Java fern or Anubias, they can just come here and get it. I don't want to scare these guys too bad, but I'll zoom in. So these are my millennium rainbowfish and Anubias and Java fern. So that's a pretty cool tank. I've been wanting to do that tank. So this used to have sand in it. I pulled all the sand I cleaned. I had to re-silicone this tank. This tank was out of commission last you guys saw it. So I had to totally clean it all out, scrape all the silicone from the sides, re-silicone it, fill it with water, and I let that sit for a few days. Drained it to make sure there wasn't any little silicone pieces or anything like that. I didn't have it fully filled. And then redid everything. So these guys are loving it. They're super happy here. Shout out to Finley's Fins. Thank you for the turquoise rainbowfish. Hopefully I get some babies for you soon. These are hodgepodge up and coming angelfish. A lot of veiltail, pinoys, gold angelfish, blue Philippine zebras. Both my bottom tanks here are just juvenile angelfish. So those Philippine blue zebras are all a little bit different. And you can kind of see a little bit of the blue in them, but as they get older and bigger, the blue really shows through. So I don't have very good lights on any of my tanks. There's a random hippo point salmon in there. And this is my bottom 180 gallon. I got some different koi angelfish in here. A couple blue pinoys. A couple marble. But they're all real nice. They're growing pretty big in this 180 gallon. And then these guys are going to be hiding. That's my hippo point salmon group. I took some of the hippo point salmons to the last auction. And I'm sure there's quite a few females holding eggs in this tank right here. So this hornwort did wonders. These guys were so skittish. And now the hornwort's growing nice and big. And they got a big water change when I took all those babies. But the hornwort's still doing really well. So not a lot of duckweed. And then that light gets down to the hornwort. And I just feed these guys Sarah Granu green pellets. Down here are some hodgepodge. This is one of my homegrown fish. This is yellow blaze lithobait with an Apache hybrid. He's a pretty fish though. And he's got a bunch of them knocked up in here. There's another male. There's a rescue here. He was kind of beat up by the Mabuna, so he's healing up. Same thing here. These are the Spilinotus tanzanias, the blue golds. So I took my big males to the last swap. These are some we can actually see in there now. Those are some of the Santa Maria Endlers. So I did clean that tank up. It's only like 3 gallons, but it's been working amazing. Some randoms in here, some VC10s. This guy right here, he's my last, what was his name? Omniceruleus. It's kind of a jerk though. So he ended up getting pulled out because I'm trying to breed Julidochromis again in that other room. I missed that tank. These Alvarezii swords still aren't breeding for me, or they haven't dropped fry. So she is not any fatter than she used to be. I don't think she's actually pregnant, but the main group here did have a couple babies. So I think 2 survived. I always said they're really hard on their fry. There's one of the little guys. These are red volcano endlers. And it is warm down here. It's like 80 degrees outside, so the basement's feeling it too. I'll speed things up. There's some angelfish in here, blue Philippine zebras. Hey guys. And these are just totes with bubblers in there, and there's some more angelfish in here. Just a few. And these are tiger endlers. More tiger endlers. These are muck guppies, mostly blue. I have a free tank here. These were the multicolored Victorias. Thank you, Victor from Florida. You were super excited that the females were holding, so I'm excited for you too. Thanks for buying that group. You can tell I don't have time for everything I have down here, so that was cool. He bought those online right off the website. I was kind of surprised. I forgot I even had them listed, and I apologize. I had more listed than I actually had, but he wanted the whole group. These are the clown puke guppies. I told you they would start looking better, and they are starting to look really nice. So I should probably throw some of these online. There's a bunch of fish that I need to put online. Just the usual. I still have these Millennium Rainbowfish in this 10-gallon. So I'm going to need to raise another batch of these guys up. These are more Santa Maria endlers. Muck guppies here. I need to get less muck guppies. Santa Maria endlers. Black bar endlers. Look at them all. Alright, we'll move a little faster. These are still just random cichlids I have in here. Some nice ice dragon bloods. This guy's pretty nice. They're just hybrids though. I say though, they're just hybrids though, but if you're looking for a pretty tank, display tank, that's what you want. Again, these are more Apache hybrids that I raised up. So I took all the males from here, moved them upstairs, so I have about 20 males. And yeah, that tank's pretty fun. It's up in our living room. And it's nice when you breed your own fish. You can kind of, just pick all the males, let them grow up in a separate tank. And here's a dirty old calico pleco, munging away. And then this is jerk angelfish, veil tail. We tried to breed. He's just hyper. These guys spawned for me again, Dylan, but they spawned on the glass. Next day they ate it. These are the red koi angelfish. They're a little bit deeper orange than any of my other lines. This is the line that most people have been seeing. This guy was kind of unique. I'm hoping he'll pair off. So these are all 29-gallon tanks. Let me zoom out here for a second. There. So hopefully one of these will pair off and I'll get some more koi angelfish going. These guys keep laying, but I think they're all females. That's one of the blue Pinoy zebras, the one that got kicked out of the crowd. And these are blue Pinoys. These are Christmas Fulus down here. They got a big water change, but they're really nothing to look at till the male color's up. When the male color's up, they're pretty nice. More blue dolphins in the 75 down here. These are, there's still a Danio in here. Longfin Danio. I thought I sold all the Danios, but it's just a mixed tank with endlers and stuff. And these are VC10s, super VC10s. So they're starting to get some size to them. They're 2.5, 3 inches, so the males should start showing themselves pretty soon. And these are the blue Eastern Happy strain. So they've been getting along real good. Haven't had to change them in over a year. As far as haven't had to mess with them, they just get along. Same old Fire Uganda. Why are all these guys hiding? All my Calvis are hiding except the big male in front here. And this rack is horrible to videotape. So there's my yellow Calvis male. Really pretty fish. And these guys are all skittish. I point the camera at them. They are never skittish like that. These are all the yellow calvus babies, who aren't really babies anymore. I've been growing them for about a year. They're 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches. So these are the dwarf blue neon rainbow fish that I'm currently raising a batch up right now. Really cool fish, really peaceful. More Philippine blue zebras. More Philippine blue zebras. Those are kind of quarter size. These are Apache hybrids. These are hippo point salmon. These are more Apache hybrids, all females, and some more Philippine blue zebras in here. These are veil-tail blues that we're pairing off. And I apologize for the glare. These are just mixed guppies. They're basically blue Moscows, but I don't feel like they're 100%, so I don't have them listed, or I'm not trying to sell them. This is the adults to these guys down here. More Philippines. So they actually have some of the calicos too with their genes. So they have some of the marble calicos, blue pinoys, and it all comes from these couple guys. And these are real pretty fish. If there was a nice light on here, you'd see a lot more of the blue in them. And these are the adult Philippine blue zebras. And my lighting sucks. They're really not going to show off too well. And more random fish down here. This is what I did to the totes. I did completely new totes with completely new Miracle Grow potting soil. And I replanted some of the sprouts, some of the Anubias in here, and more Java ferns. So it's kind of a mixed bag now. And then twice a day, I just take this guy, give it a couple pumps. And this is just dechlorinated water. Hard to do with one hand, but I just kind of lift these up. Can't do it with one hand. Lift her up. Just give her a spray. And those plants just want to be moist, and they'll grow in the potting soil. Then you can trim most of the roots off, because the roots will dig through the potting soil. And you can plant them in your aquariums. Haven't done too much over here. I'm sure I missed some tanks, just trying to go kind of fast. I'm on my lunch hour. And yeah, nothing up here. It's just Java moss growing in a couple of these. I need to get these cleaned out. These are the Tilapia Utilis. 1 male, 2 females. Hoping they'll breed. It's a pretty rare hap. And then just the last of the Philippine blue zebras that I have here. So I have quite a few of those left, but these guys haven't really been breeding for me. This female is super pregnant. Or not pregnant, but I mean she's fat. I hope she's not egg bound. So I'm hoping, they just had a big water change, hoping that she'll lay those eggs, whether or not I turn them into fry or not, just because I don't want her to get egg bound and die. Yeah, so that's it. Sorry about, allergies are really bad right now, plus I ate food, my sinuses are all plugged up. You can probably hear it in my voice. But hopefully you enjoyed this fish room tour, and yeah, stay fishy. Hope you're having a great summer, and I will check in with everybody later. Bye.